What's up, YouTube? Thought I'll show you the demo car we're working on. Weather is shit, I know, but this car has to be done, and we have too much to do to let a little bit of rain stop us. So what I'm going to do today is fiberglass this door. This door is not going to contain any speakers or amplifiers or anything, so what we're going to make is basically just a cover for this, so it gets nice and smooth, because this door will never be utilized for anything other than the purpose of being a door ever again. As you can see here, the divider is already fiberglassed up. Still got a lot of fiberglass to do. Have to smooth out these edges and have to make it all look as nice as it possibly can. This is a very low budget car, since the equipment that's going in this is very expensive. Back to the door. The only thing I think I'm going to save is this, the crank for the window. The door is filled up to here with builder's foam, so this window, if it ever drops, it'll just probably drop down to here or so. But believe it or not, the window mechanism actually still works, so I think we're going to try to save that if we can. But first thing I need to do is remove all this bullshit, and since I only have my cell phone to record this with, I'm going to stop recording for a minute, take all this off, and I'll show you how I'm going to apply the fiberglass to this. So I removed everything I need to remove on the door. Only thing I'm going to save, apart from this, obviously, as I mentioned before, is the locking mechanism for the door. Believe it or not, it still works. I'm hoping that the dent in the door here, in the OEM panel, is going to allow me to stretch the fiberglass over this, so I still can use the locking mechanism. Because this wall of the subwoofer enclosure is going to hold two Audison Vaucher's mono amplifiers, and the same thing on the other side. The holes you see up here is actually for the speaker terminals. I did not want to have to do this, but I have to put up the tent because the summer weather in Norway is just 50 shades of grey and rain and all bullshit weather. But what I'm going to try to do here now is to take this fleece, which I've already measured and pre-cut to some extent, and fasten it around all the insulation here. Sorry for the video quality. Focus. There we go. It's going to go all around here and even behind where the rubber gasket for the window used to be. I don't see any option of tacking this down with like a stapler or a nail gun or anything, so I'm going to use hot glue just to get the fleece to just stick to the door. I hope it's going to be strong enough. Experience tell me that it's probably going to be strong enough, but you never know. So I'm going to wrap this now and use this little thing just to try and get it on, and I'll come back to you as soon as I've managed to tack it down to the door. So there it is. Just ran a bead of hot glue all the way around. Took about 7.5 to 10 inches at a time all the way around. These knobs here are only for mounting the OEM door panel to this door frame, so I just cover them up. I think I'm even going to use a Dremel tool or grinder or something, and you just cut them all off once this is fully primed with polyester and hardener. But I'm not quite sure yet. Maybe I'll just leave them there, I don't know. Over here, just rough cut out the hole for the window crank. I'm not even sure it fits, but Yeah, it's there. And stop. So maybe I'll just leave it like that, you know, put some body filler around it so only this part is visible, and then just keep one of the handles for both the doors if I ever need it, but we'll see. What I have to do now is the exact same thing on the other side, and I'm not going to show you that because it's the exact same procedure. It's just, well, it's a 100% polyester fleece and a little bit of hot glue, and when I say a little bit of hot glue, I mean a lot of hot glue. I don't think this is going anywhere. And as I suspected, this will still work. So I'm not going to bulge this in anymore. Maybe I'll put a coat of fiberglass mat on this. I'm not sure because it's actually very thick fleece, but I'm not sure. Only thing this is going to be is a blank canvas, straight and nice, with a blue paint job and maybe some black added to it. I don't know, something to match the rest of the car. And please don't prejudge the horrendous mess that is the demo car right now. Shit will be sorted out, shit will be as tight as I can possibly make it, and please remember, this is the first time I ever built something this massive. I'm a complete newbie at this, so before you leave hate comments, please consider that I've just started doing this, and I hope to show you more of the build. So now we're going to go inside and mix up some polyester and hardener and get this baby real coated so it can get stiff and hard. So we're in the workshop, going to mix up some resin for the doors. What I use is what's cheapest of all, Biltema polyester. For the people from Norway who's watching this, you know what Biltema is. I'm not going to go into any further explanation about that, but if you're watching in America, this is probably the equal to the cheapest stuff you can get at, let's say, Walmart or Home Depot or something like that. To measure out the exact amount, I use these syringes in various sizes depending on how much I need, because it's very easy to get the exact amount of hardener to apply to the polyester. Whenever I use this, I also use a high quality dust mask or gas mask. This one has a gas filter, so it will actually enable me to not breathe in all the fumes from this. The fumes from the polyester itself is not as bad on its own as it is with the hardener in. So I always try, or I don't always try, I always use this mask when I'm working on fiberglass, even if it's sanding or poly filling or whatever. So that's what I use. I also use just from Biltema. The reason I prefer these is because that they are dirt cheap and they come in 5 packs with 5 different sizes. So I don't clean brushes or anything. I just think it's a waste of time. So I use these once and I throw them away. The fleece I use is also from Biltema, as everything else, because frankly in Norway there isn't any better place where I live to get this stuff so cheap. And this is what's left after I took all the doors, or both the doors. This will probably be enough for a third door. So considering for the price, one of these blankets, you do 3 doors, that's pretty cheap. It's also very, very stretchy and very thick, so we'll see. Maybe I'll put some fiberglass mat on this on the outside, I don't know. Sorry again for the video quality. As again, film this from my phone. So I'm going to mix up some resin. There we go. I'm going to mix up some resin now, and then I'm going to go outside and start fiberglassing the doors. Okay, so we mixed up a bit of resin right over here. And now we're just going to start at some random point, but usually the best is just to start at the top. So I can just smooth down all the way. And you can see the fleece become a little bit transparent when I do this. And just remember, you have to soak all the way through. If you get like the back of the fleece is not completely soaked in this, results will not be as good as if it was. I should also mention that in Norway, syringes and needles and all that kind of medical equipment for measuring fiberglass or doing drugs or whatever floats your boat, you don't need a prescription to go buy that. You can just buy it at the local drugstore, and it's dirt cheap. You can buy like 20 of them for less than, I don't know what it translates to in dollars or whatever, but they're dirt cheap, cost nothing. So I'm not saying that you should do drugs, but people do. So I don't do drugs. I just like using them for measuring out. Find it much easier than starting to pour in like small bottles and measuring cups and all that bullshit. I don't do that. It takes too much time. Also, the chance of getting it wrong is much bigger than I think. So I should point out that normally you have to use 2% hardener, but from my experience, that is in the absolute idealist of conditions. It has to be warm, it has to be dry, it might have to be humid. Then 2% works just fine. But right now, when it's raining, it's cold, it's damp, 50 shades of gray weather, then I just mix it at 4%. Makes it very hot, because I tried in this kind of weather before, working outside, and mixing 2%, and it just took like 2 or 3 days to cure. With 4%, generally it just cures in a couple of hours. So I don't think I'm going to do anything more with this car today at this point, because I'm starting to get very cold, very wet. As you can see, my tent doesn't have any walls, so if somebody has a Hertz tent out there, want to send me some walls, for the love of God, just do it. What I really need is a bigger shop, but it's actually in the planning. So in the future, we'll have a bigger shop. We can do this indoors. It will be nice. So I think you guys are tired of hearing me rambling now, so I'm just going to continue doing this, and I'll show you both the sides when I'm done. So there we are, done fiberglassing both the doors. Had to take the tent away, because you can't put a tent like that outside in the rain and just pull it back, rot and shit. So it's in the garage, drying. There's the result. Only thing I'm a little concerned about is completely shutting the doors, because I'm afraid that this side, which is still kind of tacky, will adhere to this side of the door frame. But hell, it's not even my car. What the hell do I care? And here you can see the other side. Pretty much the same. Only thing is that this side needs a lot more work to this wall piece right here. I have focused on one side at a time, because they're going to be exactly the same, so it doesn't matter which side I do first. But if you want, I can show you a little bit inside the car. Nice noise. As you can see, there's nothing in the car. It's completely isolated with STP silver, and the floor has STP, some of this foam shit, and yeah, we have driven the car like this. It doesn't make a single sound on the road, so we're satisfied with the sound dampening. The roof, 3 layers of 1/4-inch plywood with fiberglass in between, glued and screwed together. It's actually glued with polyester. This is a subwoofer box, which is going to house 4 Hertz HX 380.5 15-inch woofers in here. I'm going to have to make a hole for the port. And let's see here. Dust and shit everywhere, so I'm going to be taking this real fast. These panels were originally going to be just mock atop there. They were going to look like whatever the hell they were going to look like. I'm just going to carpet everything. We did not make, as you can see, our goal for the date that this car was supposed to be done. So we thought, okay, fuck the date. It's going to take it the time it takes to get right. So these surfaces are going to be painted, and the color scheme of the entire car is blue and black. Since the woofers are black, this is going to be probably blue with a black port, and this is going to be seamless transaction here. We're going to doing good progress here so far. Still need a lot of sanding and body filler and all that type, but it's really not that bad. With a high build primer, I bet that you wouldn't notice this crack here. It may not look smooth, but actually it is smooth to the touch. You also have to do the same story here. You have to fix this. Seat belt do work, although the contraption is sucky, but then again it has always been. So as you can see, there's a lot of more work to be done here. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you want. That would be awesome. And just on a quick note before I go, this is, remember, the first time I tried to build a demo car of this sort. It's not the first time I've been doing car audio, because I've been doing that for a long time, but at this scale it's the first time. So there's been done a lot of fuck ups, a lot of change in plans, and have taken our time. It's an ongoing process. I don't know what more to say. So before you leave comments of hateful nature, just consider this. I've never done this before, so
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat.